Forgive me for being exactly who I am. Forgive me for crossing paths once again. Isn't it funny that life dictates who I am?
Welcome to episode 4 of the LouisvilleOne podcast. In today's episode, my wife and I actually went to the Louisville Pride Festival. It was held on September the 21st, this past Saturday in the Highlands area. It's the first time we've actually ever been to a Pride event, and it was a great time. It was fun. We had a wonderful time, met a lot of nice people, and it's just a beautiful thing to see people just able to be themselves, being free to be themselves, and being happy. And, I think that's all most of us want in life, is to be free and be happy. So, it was a great time. We talked to some people, going to take you through the events to some degree, through some of the music and the people that we met. And I hope that it inspires you to go maybe next time this festival is around, or to a different festival, or just get out and meet somebody that you don't know. And I just want to make an announcement. There is a LouisvilleOne Facebook group now. I went ahead and opened that up. So go to the LouisvilleOne Facebook group. Feel free to discuss whatever, and maybe we can have some conversations there. Also, if you're a person that has your own personal story that you would like to tell, please feel free to reach out. It's LouisvilleOne. That's Louisville, the word one spelled out, not numerically, but LouisvilleOne.org. And if you go there, there's a contact page. Feel free to reach out through that. Let me know kind of what you'd like to talk about. Maybe it's a personal story, something that's impacted you in your life. Maybe it's just a community issue that has had an impact in your life that you'd like to discuss, or something that you're seeing going on in your area. And let's talk about these things. Let's have these open conversations, and let's put them out there for the public. And let's all have communication and conversations instead of arguments, and hopefully come to some understanding of who and where people are and where they come from, and their experiences inform who they are. So let's just have open conversations, and you now have 2 more ways to do so. Go to the LouisvilleOne Facebook group, or contact me through LouisvilleOne.org, and we can sit down face to face and have a discussion, and record it, and let everybody know, what you're thinking or what concerns you. And so I hope you enjoy this episode, and feel free to reach out for anything that you want. I'd be glad to talk to you. Have a great day, and here you go.
Oh, I'm sure gonna give you a try. Oh, if you want, I'll try to love again. Try it. Maybe I'll try to love again, but I know, the first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest, yeah. When it comes to being lucky, he's cursed. When it comes to loving me, he's worse. Oh yeah.
I'm a transgender person. At the end of the day, the thing that bothers me the most is that when I walk in a room, I don't want the focus to be that I'm transgender, so I just opt to not say it. However, if I do say it, I don't want it to turn into the focus. So that seems to be an ongoing issue. Where if I say that I'm transgender, then by default, do you want to go to a drag club or a gay bar? That doesn't, just because I'm transgender doesn't mean
That doesn't define everything about who you are.
I want to go there. Honestly, I don't care. I'd rather go play pool. You got me better at playing pool, or doing something else miscellaneous. So that would be an issue. With lack of knowledge, just assuming that just because somebody is one way, that they have to do everything that's inclusive to that category.
Right.
But for example, I told somebody the other day, I said, just because I may identify with the LGBT community me does not mean that I have to support or participate in everything that it has to offer.
Sure, yeah,
So,
of course.
and that's something that I think needs to be discussed. To me, when it comes to me, people think that I'm a little insensitive to it. It's not necessarily that I'm insensitive to it. It's just, I know what it is. You know what it is. We don't have to keep talking about it.
Well, yeah.
There's other stuff we can talk about.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about it, then let me tell you how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So, don't just assume just because I tell you I'm one way, ask. Just like you would ask somebody else when you want to get to know them,
Yeah.
different questions. All the questions doesn't have to focus on the fact that I'm transgender.
Right, of course, right. Yeah, I totally understand that. It's easy to become the token friend of a sort. Like, I mean, I've had to face issues where I'm the token extrovert. Like, I'm the, here's Mike. He left the cult, So, but I'm also just Mike, and I want to just be Mike sometimes. It's not always what you want to put out into the world, and you just want to be accepted for the totality of who you are, not part of who you are. So, yeah. Do you think that being black in the LGBTQ community presents its own challenges? And what would you say that those are?
I mean, thankfully, I was blessed enough to not have to go through a lot of the hurdles that I've seen some people like myself go through.
Yeah.
They may not really understand or have the knowledge that I have as far as me transitioning, but the support is still there. They're not like, oh, you're not in our family no more,
Yeah.
I don't get it, but this is going to help you be the best version of you.
Yeah.
Then we support it.
Right.
So, of course, with time you have to get used to the misgendering, and that's something that a lot of people, which I think needs to be discussed as well, is that they don't have an understanding of. Because I know some people that decide to transition like myself, but they get offended every time somebody says something wrong.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you should be able to differentiate between when somebody is insulting you and when they're making an honest mistake.
Yeah, intent matters, doesn't it?
Yeah. So,
So
I don't, whereas I wouldn't get offended, I can kind of gauge when somebody's being an asshole.
right.
So as far as like the black community, what ties into that is that we do not focus on mental health. And one thing that I decided to do, I can only speak for my family.
Yeah.
Because their generational, I wouldn't call it curse, but there are things in my generation that I've seen come to where it's my generation where I don't want that to continue. So mental health is important to me. I'll go get a counselor. I'll tell somebody I have a counselor. I'm not ashamed to say that I have a counselor. And that's something that you find that a lot of black people try to stay away from. They feel like they don't need it because it's a form of weakness.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if my mental health is going to help me live longer, then that's what I'm going to do.
I'd rather, to me, it's a position of strength to admit, hey, everybody needs some help, and there's nothing wrong with going and talking to somebody.
I want to be able to say I have the tools to be able to communicate with you versus, I'm angry and I can't tell you why or how, and then here we are, we're just dealing with this whole toxic cycle. I don't have time for that.
That's beautiful.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I think LGBT in rural America, Eastern Kentucky, which is where I'm from.
Oh, beautiful.
I think that it's a dual relationship of people not feeling comfortable being in that area, but also because people not feeling comfortable in that area, people being dismissive of the work that goes on in that area. So you have both sort of things that happen, and I think that it's really one detrimental to the areas that really where we need to be the most out. We need to, of course, safeguard the progress that we have done in the areas that we have.
Absolutely,
good,
yeah.
right?
Like Louisville, there's obviously a lot of progress here.
And we need to keep that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that when we find people that are suffering the most, when people are crying for affirmation and being treated with dignity, equality, and acceptance and love, the most, that's where we need to be at, especially for those kids.
Yeah.
Growing up in Eastern Kentucky, the whole region, everybody degregates. They sort of look down upon and dismiss because of systematic poverty, lack of education, equality, and opportunities.
Right.
In fact, growing up, and one of the biggest phrases I've had come to me was, if you want to make it at any point, you just need to leave.
Oh, really?
It's you shouldn't stay here. It's not worth your time. But that's part of the problem, right? If
That's a defeatist attitude.
Well, when everybody leaves, nothing changes.
Absolutely.
But it's a play. So people that's doing this work, all of us that are doing it, need to realize that, well, we can't be dismissive. We can't be afraid to go in those areas, because what does that tell the people there that it's not worth going in?
Yeah.
2, we reinforce what we want to change. And then 3, and this is what bothers me the most, and actually something I got called out on, was they went, what do you tell LGBT kids in that area, or people who aren't privileged enough to get up and leave, that they're not worth fighting for? To me, Eastern Kentucky is my home.
Yeah,
it's everything I am, and it's worth everything fighting for. Because, right, all these things go on. Lack of education, the opioid crisis has hit those counties the hardest.
Right.
8 out of the 10 poorest and most impoverished counties in the nation are out in Eastern Kentucky. But if you want to find the people that has the greatest amount of fight in them, the people that are willing to step up and do work for equality, from LGBT, gender, race, all the way through it, that will have your back and come out to the front and be the first people there, is people from Eastern Kentucky.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that.
And so Just Fun, and this is the reason why I'm close with it, we're a nonprofit that was started by LGBT Kentuckians and for LGBT Kentuckians. So our founders raised a bunch of money, put in an endowment that can never be touched. And they take the principle, and that's what they give to organizations promoting equality all over Kentucky. There's no overhead. Every donation goes to the endowment. We don't have a staff, and it's so that we can maximize our grant recipients. The reason why I'm here with it is that, one, my personal hero and mentor, the first openly gay state senator, openly gay state judge, is one of the founders of this organization, Vanessa Scorsoni. He's the one that kind of guided me into Just Fun to say, hey, help us out, you'll love this organization. But Just Fun stepped up. When my home county wanted to do an LGBT section in their public library and wanted funds for it, Just Fun stepped up to help provide that.
That's great.
So it's a personal connection, and as you all can tell, I'm passionate about Eastern Kentucky.
I love that.
So any organization that steps up to help Eastern Kentucky, I'm for it.
Well, that's wonderful. So, what we're doing with our podcast, it's about humanizing everybody. And, that includes Eastern Kentucky. One of the problems is we tend to get into our own little groups, our own little tribes. We break off with labels and things like that. And we always look at here's us and there's them.
Yeah.
But in the end, we're all just people. Doesn't matter if you're in Eastern Kentucky, Louisville, California, New York, whatever. The other side of the world, we're all just human beings. And we all want to be seen and validated and loved, like you talked about, like those kids in Eastern Kentucky. They want to be seen and heard for who they are.
Right.
And that's what we all want. We all just want.
And at the end of the day, we all have to step up in for each other.
Absolutely.
So Eastern Kentucky has to step up for people from Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville has to step up for people from Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because if we allow one seed of injustice or inequality to be planted, it can detriment and just absolutely impact and inflict upon us all.
Sure.
So you're absolutely right. I agree with that we all have to just collectively come together and do what we think is morally right and beneficial.
Yeah. Well, that's what we launched this podcast from an initiative called Coming Together Louisville.
Oh, nice.
And so, the whole desire is to come together, for us all to come together and to have sometimes even uncomfortable discussions about real issues that people aren't talking about. And, through this process, I'm learning too. I never thought about, Eastern Kentucky, those kids, they might be facing a little bit different battle at times because of just systemic or cultural issues in the community, but they're kids just like any other kid.
And that stigma around the area, it really does have a dual effect, right?
I bet it does.
Because every time I hear people go, well, I left because it's intolerant, I couldn't be comfortable in the area. but that also reinforces it for everybody else that's trying to go in. And I hear so often from nonprofits going to Eastern Kentucky, well, we were really afraid to come here, but we're so glad we did because you all embraced us and loved us, right? Because we are literally dying for people to come in.
Yeah.
We would love for it. We would love to come in and see who we are, to get to know us, not brand us with molecules and stereotypes. Get to know who we are, and people will be surprised, and usually they are surprised. But to break down those stereotypes, you know, the people that do, people like us that do this work, you know, we need to realize how we can, in our abilities, also reinforce that we also need to break down those barriers too.
Oh, sweet.
So our readership and our authorship in general is being co-opted.
Oh, okay.
So we're trying really hard to get creative equity back to the storyteller. That's sort of our main mission. Nanny Goat Press, Nanny Goat Books. But we are, you know, we're just trying to get people marginalized, like writers of color, writers who are queer, the ability to like actually thrive in a storytelling economy.
Yeah.
So that's sort of our focus. I mean, I think a lot of times like, we don't see the stories we need to hear. You know, like we turn on ABC.
It's the same people talking all the time.
Same people talking all the time.
Right.
And people are not given the time of the day to tell stories that are different from them.
Right.
So that is the thing that I'm working toward.
Well,
yeah.
That's honestly what our podcast is about, is having the difficult conversations and giving other people a voice instead of the people who are always in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And humanizing everybody across all the different spheres, whether it's, you know, the gay community, Greater Louisville, just all communities. We're all, in the end, we're all just human beings. We're all just people, and we all want
stories.
Yeah,
and stories are the one way we connect. I mean, my favorite quote is that at the end of the day, whether tech takes over or not, the storyteller will be the last job on earth. The storyteller will be the last person who sits around the campfire and says, here's how we connect. Here's how we get to know each other a bit more.
It was definitely one of the first. You know, look at cave paintings and cave drawings and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Story has been with us as long as we've been here. So
absolutely.
Story is everything. And sometimes it's the story you've lived, and then sometimes it's writing a new story for yourself. And changing the way that you see the world, or that you're seen in the world, or whatever the case may be. So that's beautiful. And so what was the name again of your?
So it is Nanny Goat Books.
Oh, Nanny Goat Books. I've heard of that.
Yeah, so we're down in Newlow. We have a bookstore.
Okay.
But we're launching a publishing house and a press. Yes. Yeah, so Nanny Goat Press.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
okay. Cool.
Stay by my bed. Won't you listen to the harmony you've erected in me? I'm a goddamn fool for you. Listen, it's just my honesty getting the best of me. 'Cause when you walk into the room, my heart gets high. If I could smoke some of you, that's what I do. Do, do, do.
This killed her. I made her every day.
So open your heart, you never gave it a chance. And clear your mind, you never shared a glance. Isn't it funny that life is who I am?